It's 5:20 in the morning, and I'm on my way to Scottish Photography Hides in Dumfries and Galloway to meet John Barras and have a day of Sparrowhawk photography and then an evening photographing the Pine Martens. I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to be epic. Alright, we're here at the hide and we're just getting set up. John's putting some food out in front of the hides. Alan's already been and helped set us up, and he's going to come back a little bit later on. We'll do a wee interview with him, talk a little bit about these hides and how he's set it all up here. And yeah, for obvious reasons, I'm probably not going to do much talking to camera while we're in the hide here, because we need to be quiet and we need to be alert and ready for the sparrowhawk, or indeed any of the other wildlife that comes in regularly here. But now I just need to get set up, get my camera on this plate. They've already provided some nice plates here to attach the cameras to. So I've just put my ball head on here. I'll get the camera out the bag, get it set up, and then we wait. Alrighty, we've had our first experience with the sparrowhawk there. Mostly showed its backside to us, but still got some photos, got some video, and it was absolutely amazing to see that absolutely beautiful male sparrowhawk. Taking this opportunity to do a bit of vlogging as John's just out readjusting some of the perches. That's a great start and pretty early. John's saying that's the earliest he's seen a sparrowhawk here, so many more visits to come, I hope. Right, better get quiet again and hope that he comes back.
So we continued to wait in the hide, and we were rewarded with seeing lots of other species come into the feeders, especially the woodpeckers and the jays that were great to watch. The jays were just piling the nuts into their beaks until they were practically falling out and then flying off to cache them somewhere. We also had 2 visits from a juvenile male sparrowhawk. The one that we'd seen actually feeding on the post was an adult male. But this juvenile wasn't interested in the food that had been put out and was actually lurking about underneath a different set of feeders next to some running water, and it was far more interested in the songbirds that were feeding around the hides. I think it's important to say something about the fact that food is being put out here for the sparrowhawks, and I know this is quite a divisive issue. For my part, I would prefer a minimum of feeding, and I think probably there was a bit more than I was expecting. I was expecting there to be natural food like the pheasant carcass that we saw when we arrived, but in fact it was white mice with their tails cut off being zip-tied to the post, and I wasn't entirely cool with that. I'd have to have quite a long think about whether I'd be going back to something where that type of feeding was happening. So as the afternoon drew on, we started to imagine that maybe we weren't going to get any further sparrowhawk encounters, even though there was plenty of food still out. But then, right as we were starting to think about packing up, it was there and gave us some absolutely fantastic views. Right, so we've finished in the Sparrowhawk Hide now, and it's absolutely fantastic. I'm sure you've seen some of the footage already on the video, and I'm looking forward to looking at it on the back of the on the computer, not on the back of the camera, because I actually get a decent view of it there. But before we go to the Pine Martens, I thought we'd have a quick interview with Alan McFadyen, who runs this place, and he can tell us a bit more about it. So, how did it start, all of this?
Well, it actually started this exact spot here about 2008, 15 years ago. It was a hide this size with that.
Right.
It was just positioned here with a few feeders here, and small birds, sparrowhawks started coming.
And was that just for your own use?
Yes, just my use. Then I was getting some good pictures of sparrowhawks, etc. People were online, can we come to your hide? So, oh, you come. But then it started £10 for paying my food. Then I built a bigger hide, and a bigger hide, and a bigger hide. Now we've got 3 hides here. Yeah. And so it's just grown and grown over the years. Yeah. And now we've got, must be 35 hides. I
was going to say, how many hides have you got now?
Some of them are repeats. Like we've got 6 cuckoo hides.
Yeah,
to make sure
different
we get
locations.
The cuckoo in. And yeah, it's just been.
Yeah. So what's been your kind of biggest success or favourite success story in terms of the conservation that you're doing with at the same time?
Probably kingfishers. Make artificial nests at the breeding time. Where I've got them, it floods easily. Right. So I've made big bankings that are full of stones. So I've actually tunnelled in and put mud in a false hole. So about 20 years before I'd well, 20 years from now, there's about 19 kingfishers fledged in all that time.
Aye.
And since I've started doing that, I'm getting about 19 a year.
Whoa, that's a great success. Yeah.
And, I know the feeding, some people don't agree with it, but it helps tremendously with that side of things.
Yeah.
They're having 3 broods now, sometimes 4, because of the artificial feeding. My tunnels are saving them 2-3 weeks digging, so they're making their season longer. Yeah. And also the juveniles, is worth pointing out, 70% die in the first 2 weeks of fledging in the wild.
Right, but they're not
catch
dying.
the fish.
Yeah.
They come to my place, they miss, and they catch.
Yeah.
So it's that's what
How does it work with getting permission to do things like build artificial banks and build hides?
A rental place. You just go around the land, go and chap on somebody's door.
So you kind of rent a bit of land and
and just
Do you need permission to put food out for raptors and things?
The only time you need permission for food is like if you're doing it at a big scale, like the red kite feeding station.
Right.
There's I don't know offhand what the amount is, but it'll be so many kilo, but not like an odd. It's totally illegal. And that's the feeding gold eagles now.
Right.
And that's roe deer.
Yeah.
And there's no
license required for that?
No, you just have to be careful. You build a hide not to be near the roost site or the...
Aye, because then you need a schedule license to be...
It's actually a Schedule 1A bird to go. It's different because you're not even allowed to disturb them 12 months of the year. Yeah. So it's a different kettle of fish. Cracking.
And what's your current sort of big project? Is that the Golden Eagles?
The Golden Eagle, I'm working on that now, and goshawks in the back of my mind as well. I've had them going before twice.
Yeah.
Got scoopered. I'll get them. Getting the time's my problem.
Oh, you get goshawks coming up here to a hide, I'll be back.
Oh, good stuff.
Love to see a goshawk.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
It'll be a big puller of a...
Not seen one for decades.
No, they're about, but they're just so secretive. Yeah. So secretive.
Brilliant. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. That's fantastic. And thank you very much for the day. And let's go see some Pine Martens. Right, so that's us set up and ready in the Pine Marten hide. Cameras are set up and we've got some flashes out there, as well as some jumping platforms, and there's some eggs out there that I assume the Pine Marten's going to come and munch. So now we just wait. All right, what an absolutely amazing evening, and what an amazing day actually. Absolutely stunning with the Sparrowhawks, and now absolutely great session with the Pine Martens. Although, to be honest, the Pine Martens were all over by about 7:15. So it's now 9:30, and we've waited and waited, hoping they might come back, but they've not shown again, unfortunately. Still, got a couple of shots. I got one of the Pine Marten jumping between two stations that had been set up by Alan to fetch an egg. It's got an egg in its mouth. Really quite pleased with that. And I've got a couple more of the Pine Marten sitting on the wall, so they're quite good. Been an incredibly steep learning curve with using the flashes and the sync speeds. I've not really done much flash photography, certainly not remote flash photography with the Z9, so yeah, I ballsed it up a few times as well on the way, but I've learnt a lot tonight doing that, and yeah, I'm kind of hungry for more of that. I'm quite interested in doing some more kind of nighttime photography with the Z9. It was quite good fun. To control the flashes, we've actually been using these little remote releases from Camtractions, and they're really good because they mean you can use any camera to fire as flashes. In terms of the other gear, obviously got the Z9, the 400mm 4.5. It's been absolutely fantastic today. It's been really good. Used it with the teleconverter in the Sparrowhawk Hide, used it without the teleconverter here, and yeah, it's been cracking. And the other bit of kit that I've never talked about on a video really, but has been really good today, is the flex shooter ball head, which replaces both the gimbal and the ball head because it's a kind of in-between mix. And this is the first time I've really used it in anger, and really good. Really been impressed by it. So yeah, there's a lot of hype around that ball head as it being good, and I can confirm it's really good. So it's definitely pretty cold in here, and looking forward to getting in the car and getting the heated seats on, getting on my way home. But yeah, absolutely great being here. Many thanks to Alan for the setup. It's absolutely great here, as you'll have heard in that wee interview. He's got lots and lots of different hides around here. The noise in the background is John just putting away all the flashes, because we're going to go and put them, we're going to take them back for Alan to help him out a bit. And if you fancy going to any of his hides, I've put the link in the video description. Go check it out. Obviously you pay him some money. I've paid him some money today. Money well spent, because it goes back into these projects, and there's a lot of conservation going on behind the scenes as well. Just need to pack up now, head on down to the car, and so yeah, hope you've enjoyed watching this footage. I'll finish the video now, and yeah, thanks very much for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.